Good God, man, I got everything all messed up. I fixed it. I don't know what I did. I just had to turn OBS off, turn it back on, and my game was still playing. It kicked me out of the lobby, of course, because I was idle. But it came back on, and everything's fine. But now that I've seen that, I didn't realize. I honestly did not know that I could switch. And I should have known. It's an Elgato 4K. Uh, I could switch up my streaming, but that's recording. I don't know if it's gonna allow it to stream at 4K, because to stream at 4K, I've also got to raise my bit rate on YouTube to about 65,000 kilobits per second. Whereas on Twitch, they don't even allow you to go over 7,000, I don't think, or 6,000. I'm not sure. I guess I have to. I'm really not all that keen on Twitch. I mean, I'm not totally familiar with all of the aspects of what you can and cannot do. But I know on YouTube I have streamed at 4K a few times. But good Lord, man, um, it's supposed to take, according to their stats, it's supposed to take anywhere from 30 to 40 minutes to process a 5 gig video. Well, what I did is I made a couple of 1 gig videos, uploaded them, or I mean streamed them. I'm sorry, and you know what? It started processing about 7:30 at night, and it was still processing at 9 o'clock the next morning. And I'm not going to deal with that, because if I publish it while it's still processing, it only publishes the standard definition of the video, and it's going to be all pixelated and nasty. And I mean, I'm not even happy with 1080p, to be honest with you. If you let me go to studio mode a second here. I want to try something. Um, okay. If I, where the heck? Why am I in Stream Elements? Oh, I've got, never mind. I've got like 20 pages open. What's the difference? Can you still see me? Because I don't see me on this monitor. And I didn't put, it doesn't matter. Hang on a minute. What was I going to do? Why am I going to the internet? I don't even know, so I guess I'll forget it. Holy cow. See, I get 12 different things going on in my head at the same time. And then I get lost. Okay, I'm streaming. That's me. Okay, I'm seeing me. Here I am. Hi, how you doing, Paul? Okay. I'm also seeing one hell of a lag. Not lag, sorry. One hell of a delay on YouTube, and I have YouTube on ultra low latency, which is interaction with everybody immediate. What's it doing on Twitch? Let me go see. Snap. Almost 4 seconds before I see it on Twitch. Try that again. 4. Right at 4. I don't like a 4 second delay. That's. Who went live? Oh. I don't know them. They're not. I'm not following them. I'm just playing, guys. It's the best place to find out where your mistakes are is while you're online. I don't really have. I do not like this long of a delay on YouTube. 11 seconds. What a crock, man. And I am on low latency, so I'm going to definitely go back in and check all my settings and stuff on YouTube, because when I stream, I want it to be interactive, immediate if possible, or as close to as possible. And I want to try one other thing while I'm sitting here. Stream Elements just said something. Just reading that stuff on this screen. Alright, let me open a page. 22, 23 pages open. Send that up there. I guess that is only 4K for recording on the Elgato. I can't, well, like I say, I have to go into OBS and still adjust all my settings for the stream, and the my bits would have to, boy, it would have to really be high. Twitch is fine. Yeah, the delay on Twitch is just still about 4 seconds, I believe. Ooh. Yep, about 4 seconds. And I haven't even messed with any of my settings in Twitch for the channel. But YouTube, I have an ultra high latency. And for a while there, I put my hand up and it was, a second and a half, it was up on my screen. On the YouTube screen, not on OBS, because OBS, it's as soon as I put my hand up, it's there, of course, because it's live on this side. But for some reason, do you ever stop to think how much? I've been on these stupid computers since 1983. I had a computer, a two telephone line computer bulletin board in Arizona. One of the first 35 bulletin boards in Arizona. And of course, that's the inception of the internet. That's what brought on the internet was computer bulletin boards, which were essentially the same thing. You had all these computers in different cities and different states, and they would look at zip codes or area codes, I should say, to see how far out you could call without it being long distance, and then get the next one and the next one and the next one in line, to where you had this network feeding messages and programs and everything else to one another, and that's where they got the idea of a World Wide Web. But I had that bulletin board up for I guess about what, 4 years. I'm gonna real quick. Try this. I think it's, right there, 602 BBS list. Website blocked due to Trojan. I don't care. There's nothing that can hurt my computer. Let me see. I'm going to show you guys this. This is kind of neat. Why the hell aren't these things in alphabetical order? I want to see this. I want to show you this. This is really neat. Oh my God, I see some of these guys and I remember them. This is 1983 and 4. Phoenix area Strike Eagle. Oh my God. I never really looked at all of these. Where the hell is let me go up here. Instead of trying to look through all these damn things, let me search. Where's search? Where the hell is search? Find. Oh, it's called Find. I gotta show you this shit. Let me show you this. Hang on a minute. Let me move this screen over here so I can see what the heck I'm actually doing. This is just so cool. Let me get a display capture in here real quick, and we'll put that up there. Look at this. Um, right here, Hidden Cavern BBS. Uh, shit, man. Now it's only got one phone line listed because this is when I'm assuming this is when I first put the board up. Hidden Cavern BBS and 2309549. Jesus Christ! But look at all these different BBSs. This was the 602 area code, which is the basically Arizona at the time. Or yeah, Arizona at the time. I do believe we only had one area code in Arizona in the 80s. I could be wrong. 195 sysops currently listed. 259 BBSs listed. 200. Like I said, I was one of the first 30, 35 or so that went out here. Uh, this is the one I tried to timeshare on a TSR Model 80. If any of you guys are familiar with the old computers like the Commodore and the color computer from Radio Shack, uh, I got my first IBM 8087, which was a shit. This is so cool. A megahertz in speed, the processor. Uh, Not a gigahertz, a megahertz. And my first big hard drive was 40 megs. And at the time, I you could, oh my God, I almost want to cry. Right here. This is the gentleman, Bob Donaldson, and the Answering Machine BBS. Bob Donaldson was the one. He was at a motorcycle gang. Had hair down to his ass, big burly, big bushy, scraggly beard, and had the intelligence of a genius. And he was also instrumental in the FidoNet, the network, when it started up, when it ensued to create all these bulletin boards to be able to hook together and send packets of information to one another. You could play online games. You can go. I've got the software for this BBS on this computer, and I've often thought of putting it back up and then having people call into it via Telnet. You'd have to download Telnet for your computer, and then you could log into my ANSI graphics BBS. But Bob Donaldson is the one that I don't remember how I met Bob. My initial computer was the Timex Sinclair, this big, 1982 or three, I don't remember. And then I bought the color computer from Radio Shack, and that's what I ran the software. Okay, you gamers know how big games are, so you can relate to the size of gigs and terabytes and all that shit. But I'm looking at these names and it just baffles my mind. Um, you look at the size of the programs, like a game. I think what is GTA 5? The full version of the DVDs. What size is that? Like 50 gigs for the game? Let's just say 20 or 30 gigs for the game. The software, gotta go look up on my computer. Go find it. Well, I don't know where it's stored, and I've got 4 different terabyte drives. Well, I can tell you right now, the software, the entire software package for the bulletin board system, the program within itself, is less than a meg. Oh God, it's more like 350 kilobytes in size. It's a very small program, but it was powerful. It had message boards in it. It had games within it. Um, it had back doors you could set for other sysops, system operators, or friends to come in and manipulate and help you with your menu setup and things like that. But there was, and I can say this because it was news. It was all over the place. And I worked for the sheriff's department in computer fraud. Uh, and Bud McLeod and Ken McLeod, kind of neat. Bud McLeod is now passed. He passed just before retiring. Uh, Different spelling names, but they were both in the sheriff's department. And one of them I got in contact with because a young boy of 17, he had a bulletin board. He wanted to start a bulletin board. Anybody could do it. Christ, he didn't have to have brains to really do this. You had to know a little bit about basic programming, things like that. But a 17-year-old and a school teacher, I don't remember the name of the school for some reason, they were in cahoots together, giving out long distance freak, PHREAK, look it up, freak codes for long distance companies and stealing long distance services from them. They also had little black box programs you could put on your computer, and you could make all these long distance calls and stuff for nothing. And there was a company called Sons. I don't know if it was Sons of Phoenix, SUNS. Um, that was a long distance company at the time on Central Avenue in Phoenix. Well, they lost something like $400,000 in long distance services to these two guys, the 17-year-old and a school teacher. Well, they took me into their confidence because I had such a big BBS. I mean, it was really popular. I think I had like 600 members at the time, which was a lot because BBSs, they had like 30, 40 people. If you had a 300 baud modem and a computer, you could call one. But they took me in their confidence because I knew so much about computers at the time. And that's due to this guy right down here. Bob Donaldson taught me everything I knew until I took a Turbo Pascal course in college. I went to night school to learn Turbo Pascal, which I don't remember shit about it. But as they took me into their confidence, they put me into their back doors of their BBS to help them out with certain things on their menus and all this other stuff. And while I'm doing that, they decided to share their forthcomings of what they were doing with all of these long distance companies and stuff. And I said, oh, that's kind of neat. They didn't know I worked for the sheriff's department. So you know what? I'm not going to say, hey, you dumbass, I work for the sheriff's department. I took all the information they had. And when they went to that school teacher's house to confiscate his equipment, he had, well, you can't see in this room because everything behind me is black. Or is the game still going? I don't even know. Am I still even on the damn screen? Oh, no, that's on the screen. Um, I remember he had something like 12 to 15 computers. He had hard drives up the yin yang. He had these little boxes that he made that somehow would it 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 gave out a tone. It gave out a tone on a payphone. He could carry this little box. It gave out a tone on a payphone that it would make the phone believe it was I don't know how it worked exactly. I'm sorry, I don't remember. But it gave out all this information so he could make long distance calls to anywhere in the world and for a nickel. Put a nickel in the payphone. Anything to get a connection to the phone would make this box work. So, needless to speak, I don't think he went to jail, but he had to pay restitution. He was put on 5 years probation of being a scumbag. Of course, the 17-year-old, I don't know, he's probably a crook somewhere today. start that young. He probably just continued doing so. But right there, hidden cavern BBS. That was my bullet. What the hell is that HIDD? Why is that in yellow? That's the only one on here that's got a discrepancy in the. What is that? What did I do that? No, I can't do that. But well, I remember the phone number, but I had another phone number too. But it was a 995. Wait a minute. Yeah, 957 602 957 7691. 7695 957 7691. I do believe. But I go down the list of these. A new Voyager. I knew Gary from the PlayNet. Of course, Bob Donald's up above with the answering machine BBS. Actually, I looked at this list a few years back, and I started looking around for these people on Facebook. I found one. I couldn't tell you who it is today. It was several years ago. But these are the. I ran Wildcat. I ran RBBS. I ran Remote Access by Andrew. Oh shit. Whoever. Andrew, somebody who wrote the program. I ran Wildcat, RBBS, Remote Access, C. Was it CBBS? Yeah, CB. Well, there's a CBBS there. They just had different names. TBBS I tried out for a while, but that was a ripoff of RBBS. You got to remember these things were written in BASIC, so change a few lines and make it your own software. Really, I mean, there wasn't much to it. PC board, I tried it. I didn't like it. It was too sophisticated. A lot of the young kids couldn't figure out how to really get in through all the Color 64. Color 64 BBS, and it was on a Commodore. And you'll notice there's a whole hell of a lot of them. Telguard, I tried Telguard for a while too, but I didn't like it. I think I stuck with remote access, and you know what? I don't see any of them down here running remote access. None. It was formerly called Aaarrrgbbbs. 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 And I'm going to look that up. Remote access BBS right there. It's still available. Shit. Hang on, I want to see how big the program is. Professional version of remote access consists of 2 3.5-inch floppy disks. Fuck. Yeah, I set mine up on the computer. I never hooked it up. I never got Telnet and all that to MS-DOS 6.22. I was so excited when that happened. It's just amazing. All these different. Look at the size of these programs. 86. What do I want to say? Kilobytes. 86. Yeah, they're not. These are not 86 megabytes. They're not big files. A lot of this stuff was freeware. A lot of it you had to pay $3 or $5 for. They had a mailing thing here for a script for mailers. Shit. So, you know what? While we're on here, and while we're talking about this, let's just go to a BBS. Let's just go to one. Oh, let's go to the BBS corner. Well, don't they just have a list of them here? Uh, Look at those antsy graphics. Oh, they were. Look, this is what your screen looked like when you. There was no such thing as high graphics back then. Look at that shit. Okay, I have to. I think I actually have to have Telnet on my computer because there's the address for Telnet. I think I already do have. Let's cancel that. I don't want to open a shell right now. Let's. I might be able to get away. There we go. No, you know what? Then go ahead. Open the internet. Open the shortcut. Do I have it blocked? I may have it blocked. But some of these guys still actually have bulletin boards you can call with a phone. But why? You plug your phone into a modem and the modem into your computer and a lot of fun. If you ever get time, or if you got time, just go read about computer bulletin boards and see where. Actually, go to YouTube. They have a really big documentary on BBSs. What is a BBS in internet? Do dial-up BBSs still exist? Yes, they do. They certainly do. What happened to FidoNet? I'd like to know that. Direct dialing into local BBS systems rapidly declined, although FidoNet has shrunk considerably since the 1990s. Has remained in use even today despite internet connectivity becoming more widespread. What is that a picture of? Just a bunch of crap they're talking about. All right, hey, I fixed my problem. It is. It is old school. That's where it all started. It all started with the first home computers, and then they came out with a 300 baud modem, which is 300 bits of information that you would receive, like a song, an MP3, a 4 meg song, way back then, would take you 35 to 40 minutes to download. Shit. Now, I don't say this out loud, but when I download a file, well, I've got, I don't even know what my speed is. Well, when I download, I usually get like 15 to 21 and a half megabits per second. And back then you were just getting bits, little pieces. So a 4 minute song would take you 35 minutes to download. Oh yeah. Hi Hector. We went back in the old days, Hector. I was talking about computer bulletin boards and stuff, but oh, I just realized that's yay. Oh, I'm gone. But it's I want to at least look at. Well, they called it the Cocoa, but uh, let's look at the two. That's what I did have. Look at that. That's shit, shit. That's what I ran my that's what I ran my computer bulletin board on. This was my computer, and it had a little slot over here for cartridges, and you could plug in a tape because programs were actually on tape, cassette tapes. Fuck. Wow. The TS80 or the TSR80. That was a upgrade from the Cocoa. See the cassette tape? Plug it into your recorder, stick it back there, load it, wait for the tape to load the whole program, then you could play Stickman graphic games. Holy shit. That's why I want to start playing a lot of these retro games. I've got a Wii. I've been looking for it in television. They're pretty expensive. Do you just I want it in television, I really do. Oh, that's not bad. 51 in television, oh, controller inlays. That's how you play the game. You put the inlay in on top of the controller, and that's how they're all different. Interesting crap. But that's the Intellivision. There's your controller. And I'm gonna go one more. I have to do one more thing. Just because I'm being silly. Oh, B17. Get over here. This was one of my favorite games. Fuck. I don't know. Do I have my? Well, I don't have this on for one thing. Do I have? I don't think I have. I don't. You're not going to be able to hear that. I don't have my. Just watch the graphics for a second. Come on. Fly somewhere. Oh, Jesus. Sorry, there we go. He's in the purple sky. Well, he was. These are the. Look at those are bullet holes in your plane. Shit. I don't know why the sound's not there. I don't even have a desktop audio in my audio because I don't use it for nothing. I have it, and I don't think I can turn it on. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. That's flat. They're shooting at the plane. That's flat. They're shooting at the plane. Flat. Flat. Insane. Absolutely insane. All right, hey. Forward to the bombs. three 1,000-pound bombs, though. Still have three 1,000-pound bombs. I mean, really, if I were to buy a Intellivision, a Nintendo, a Sega, all these things, how many people are going to watch them? Really? Even on Twitch, where the gaming is. A couple of channels really have. I mean, there's channels on YouTube that play Wreckfest. They get 20,000 views per video, per race. 20,000. And I struggle to get 30. It's just, whatever. Maybe they don't like our language. We get pretty bad. But geez, I was just scrolling around Twitch last night, looking at random channels, knitting. Some girl that was knitting something and talking to her friends or talking to her viewers. I watched a guy on RuneScape, which I used to play pretty heavy. Just random channels, and the language is nuts. And one guy was just effing this and effing that and effing and using the like word every third sentence. And I'm like, I went to the store and I'm like, I talked to the guy and he's like, what are you looking for? And I'm like, fucking, what is wrong with people saying like with every other word? Now I'm going to get all kinds of hype over that. I get a kick out of it. You're standing in a store in line at Walmart. There's two young girls behind you, and they're having a conversation. They're having a conversation behind you, and one is standing there, and she's talking about, oh, I went with my boyfriend last weekend, and we went way out in the woods, and he wanted to see if we could find some nature bugs walking on trees and things, and he didn't want to what the fuck are they talking about? I know a school teacher that does that, and I'm like, you like what? What are you even trying to say? And I'm like, oh shit. You like what? I'm sorry, that stupid thing was still going. I apologize. What is the point of saying every other word? I'm looking for some pants, and he's like, what kind of pants you looking for? I'm like, well, I want some jeans, but I want holes in them, and they're grubby and dirty, and fuck. People that talk to me like that, I usually turn around and walk away. I don't want to hear that. And he goes. Instead of he said, he goes. You know what I mean? I don't know. There's a new one, though. There's a new one that has superseded So, the word so. People, when talking in conversations or ask a question, especially politicians, not especially politicians, but quite a few. They're talking on TV, they're on the news, and what do you think will be the outcome if we do such and such to those and these? So, why do they start a sentence with so? So, I'm going to make my point now. I mean, what? So, watch. Pay attention. When the thing started, I wanted to slap everybody for saying This is my best gaming thing, man. This is so cool. And he was telling me yesterday, and he goes, where the fuck did he go? He said. He didn't go anywhere. He said. Okay, I'm off my soapbox. I'll see everybody tonight at 7:45 for some Wreckfest with the crazies on my channel. Bye.